Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a day of racing here at Gulfstream Park West. Post time just over an hour away, and we ask you now to please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
He's on the outside of Owendale, who's asked for a bit more. At the rails, seeking the soul. Code of Honor is starting to run now. He's looking for a seam and finding it in between horses as War of Will has now lost the lead. Yoshida is at the back of the field, more than a dozen off the pace. Elaine is dropping out of it, and then Math Wizard as McKenzie has taken the lead at the top of the stretch. And Vino Rosso is coming to challenge Mongolian Burmester, then Higher Power and War of Will. They're at the top of the stretch. Joel Rosario has done his job. It's up to McKenzie, and Vino Rosso is right to him on the outside. Vino Rosso has taken the lead, and he powers away under Irad Ortiz Jr. Vino Rosso, like father, like son, the son of Carlin, rocks in the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. McKenzie was clearly second best, then it was Higher Power, and a belated rally came from Elaine in front of Math Wizard.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gulfstream Park West. And you just saw Vino Rosso winning the Breeders' Cup Classic with Irad Ortiz Jr. in the saddle. That was his fourth Breeders' Cup win of the weekend. He had one on Friday and three on Saturday. Boy, that was a really nice performance, and congratulations to the owners and, of course, to our buddy Todd Pletcher and all of these guys. Be joining us here, not here, across town at Gulfstream Park during our winter campaign. So can't wait for the championship meet to start, and we'll see who these horses go on to the Pegasus a little later on. So very exciting finish to the Breeders' Cup this year. Vino Rosso, much the best through the stretch. So with that said, boy, you get goosebumps when you watch those races. So we're starting the day here with a fast main track and a firm turf course. And we got a couple of carryovers we want to talk to you. We're going to show you the menu right now. We got a nice carryover in the Super High Five of over $7,600. That starts in race number 1. And then go down to race number 3. We have an 8-race card this afternoon. And we got just about $500,000, $500,000 thereabouts in the Rainbow Six. That's races 3 to 8. And of course, like every day, we got a couple of pick 5s, a couple of pick 4s. We got an early pick 5, and I'm going to show you my ticket right now. And then I'm going to go with the 1, 2, and 5 in here. And I'm looking up at the tours here. Thought I was going to get a price 10 to 1 on the morning line. Opens up as the 2 to 1 favorite. I also used the 1 Restart and the number 5 Sir Husky on my ticket. Too deep in race number 2 with Abuela's Love and the return of the favor. And then I went too deep again with Elusive Molly and Nellie Bell. That's a nice first-time starter from Todd Pletcher, who just won the Breeders' Cup Classics, as you saw. And then race 4, 3 deep with the 3, 7, and 9, So Dear Tara and Greater Plan. And I ended with a horse that won by the length of the stretch, but that was under synthetic. I'm talking about Jimmy's Lifestyle. I also used Frankie Apps in there, the number 4. So my ticket, $36 to kick off the afternoon. And like I said, we'll start talking about the number 2, Sky Sun. I'll tell you why I like this horse. First of all, I thought I was going to like it for the price. This one is going to stretch out to 1 mile in the 16th. Returned from about a 9-month layoff to finish, I thought, a useful stalk and flatten out 5th place finish. Going against Simla, going 7.5 furlongs. Dave Fawkes is the trainer. You got the apprentice Christian Torres in the saddle. I think this board is going to change as the time goes, but that horse currently up there at a 5-2. I just thought this horse would move forward off that performance. Certainly needed its last race. Now the horse right to its inside is the one Restart. This one was really solid in defeat when he rallied to come within ahead of finally notching that elusive maiden victory. He's had 17 previous tries, 1 second and 2/3. Oscar Gonzalez is the trainer. Marcos Meneses at the control. So we'll see if this horse, we've seen it happen a couple of times this week. 0 for 18 maiden, 0 for 19 maiden. So now maybe the 0 for 17 maiden up there at 3-1 can do it. And then I used the number 5, Sir Husky, who's back in South Florida for trainer Michelle Nihei after a solid campaign up north in which this son of Kitten's Joy hit the board in 2 or 4 races at the $20,000 to $16,000 level up north. So certainly fits with this level of competition here in race number 1 this afternoon. So we'll see how that horse runs. So Sky Sun currently 5-2, and I did use that one on my early pick 5 ticket. Second race today, 6.5 furlongs. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 in life. And I went with the number 5 in here, Abuela's Love, who's dropping to the 6,250 level after showing some speeding, fading, but that was against tougher competition, both on the dirt and on the turf. Eddie Plessis Jr., and he's got the apprentice Christian Torres in the saddle today. So this one, what I liked about it most was the drop, facing better, I said, on both those surfaces. The number 1, Return to Favor, is going to turn back this distance 6.5 furlongs after opening and then surrendering big early leads when facing similar, going a mile here in back-to-back races. So he goes to the lead. Alan Moran, it's got Raylu Gutierrez going to try and throttle down this speed on this horse. Likes to open those big leads. Maybe that was going a mile, so to turn back to 6.5, maybe that'll help this horse this afternoon. Number 2, Aunt Betty, is back from the 360-day layoff with sort of a consistent morning work tab showing, albeit a little on the slow side. So we'll see how this one runs off a long layoff. Sitting up there, we'll see how this horse runs in race number 2, and that is Aunt Betty. Coming off the long break. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to show you my Rainbow Six ticket.
We hope you're ready to walk, trot, or canter on the historic Gulfstream Park racetrack. Getting ready for Canter for the Cars, where you will have the chance to ride on the same track as the Florida Derby and Pegasus World Cup winners. It's on Saturday, November 9th, and it's for a great cause, benefiting the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance and Whispering Main's Therapeutic Riding Center. Visit GulfstreamPark.com for more information, and we can't wait to see you there.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
Welcome back to Gulfstream Park West. The third race is where the Rainbow Six is going to start this afternoon, and it's a 1-mile turf event. Maiden special weight fillies, 2-year-olds. Scratch the 1 and the 4 in the race, and note the jockey on the number 10 is Paco Lopez. With that said, let's take a look at my ticket, $48.60, and I did go 3 deep in all these first races. I got a single in race number 7. I just thought elusive Molly, Nellie Bell, that first-time starter from Todd Pletcher, and the 10 Better with Age from Elizabeth Dobles. In the fourth race I used 3 again, Greater Plan, Tara, and So Dear. And you see, go down to race number 7 this afternoon. Now, Before that, race number 6 got a couple of really nice horses in it. Trophy Chaser, Zenden, Frosted Grace. That's a really good race. But I'm going to try and beat these and be able to use a lot more in other races if I can get Could Be Home, who's turning back slightly to 7.5 furlongs. Thought he ran very well for trainer Carlos David. Jairo Rondon will be in the saddle. $48.60 for me in the Rainbow Six. And mark that down. Starts in race number 3 today. Let's talk about that race. Now, number 2, Elusive Molly, is debuting locally for trainer Mark Cassie after, you look at the last race, stalked the pace, finished 4th, but was beaten less than 2 lengths when facing maiden special weight runners. That was going a mile across town on the Gulfstream Park turf. It's apprentice Christian Torres. Boy, he better have a good day. Seems like I'm mentioning his name a lot. Gets the call because Edgar Zayas, who rode his horse last time, is going to Nellie Bell. And Nellie Bell, that was the name of the Jeep years ago with the Gene Autry show or something like that. I think it was the name of the Jeep, if I remember correctly. This one, as I mentioned, trained by Todd Pletcher. It's a daughter of Heartspun. That makes a career debut with Lasix. She's got a string of stamina workout showing up at Palm Beach Downs. So coming in, first-time starter, of course, Todd Pletcher. So I used that one on my ticket along with the 10. Better with Age, who's stretching out to a mile today after a solid turf debut, going 7.5 furlongs. She broke from the rail. She goes up. She tracks the pace and finishes 3rd. The trainer is Elizabeth Dobles, has Nick Juarez. No, that's going to be Paco Lopez. That's the one that jockey change come on. Nick was on that one, but there was a horse scratched out of there with Paco on, so he gets them out there. So Paco will be riding the number 10, Better with Age. So in race number 3 to kick off the Rainbow Six, I use 2, 5, and number 10. Now, race 4 is the first leg of the late pick 5. I mentioned we got 2 pick 5s here today, so race 4 starts the second one. And I used the number 9 in here. By the way, it's a 1-mile maiden special weight event for fillies, 2-year-olds. And I went with Greater Plan, the number 9, who's stretching out to a mile with Lasix added. If you go back, this one really got parked wide as the favorite, finished 5th behind a very impressive repeat winner. Tonalist came back. That was going 5.5 furlongs. Tonalist Shape came back and won a 75 optional claimer. Did it very impressively. Trainer Eddie Plesa Jr. has got Paco Lopez atop this daughter of Secret Circle, was bred to certainly handle this distance of a mile and beyond. So looks like a good spot for Greater Plan. Number 7, Tara. Well, she is turning back to a mile after stalking the action and weakening to finish 4th. That was in the $400,000 mile in the 16th Susan's Girl division of the Florida Sire Stakes. The trainers Juan Alvarado and Raylu Gutierrez will be atop this Arundel homebred daughter of Brethren. So homebred and Brethrens have really come to hand for the connections, and they've run well. And it's coming out of that stake, turning back to the mile, I think is going to help. And the 3, So Dear, a daughter of Fury Kapuri, and this is a half-sister to a couple of really nice horses, a $1 million earner, Silver Wagon, and a multiple stakes winner called Rehoboth. And this one debuts for Dave Fawkes, Lasix, and you get Sammy Camacho in the saddle this afternoon. So my selections in race number 4, 9, 7, and 3. Now we go to race number 5, and this is a 5-furlong turf sprint. Claimers 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 life. And this is the horse I was alluding to when I was telling you about my Rainbow Six ticket, and that's Jimmy's Lifestyle. He's making his first start since drawing clear on that Turfway Park synthetic track to crush a field of $7,500 maidens. Won that race by more than 14 lengths. It's Wesley Ward. He's solid with this kind of layoff of about 24% with a long layoff, and he's also good with horses going from synthetic to turf. So what do you do with this horse? You got to put him on your ticket. But on my Rainbow Six ticket, I also used the number 4, Frankie Apps, who's going to race without the blinkers this afternoon, hoping that equipment change will help improve on the recent string of Oz is always there, in the money. It finishes very well at this level and distance. So they're going to do an equipment change today for a trainer, Armando de la Cerda, and the apprentice, Kristen Torres, in the saddle. They got a lot of good mounts today, Kristen Torres. Then Pure Luck, who's cutting back to 5 furlongs. This one went up and pressed the pace, and weakened late went 4th. That was going a mile on the Gulfstream Park turf. It's David Fawkes, and he's got Hall of Fame jock Edgar Prado in the saddle today. Now, race number 6. This is a great race this afternoon. 6 furlongs allowance, optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up, or they could run for the optional claiming price of $40,000. I have Trophy Chaser on top of my ticket and Zendon in second. But first, we want to go back and look at Trophy Chaser's comeback performance off the layoff. It's a couple of starts back, and I thought he ran very well. There he is. He's the number 2 horse. Now, this is returning from a 7-month layoff back on August 30th. And boy, he ran exceptionally well. After this race, he went and tried some stakes competition. He tried the Gallant Barber Grade 2 up at Park. Didn't fare as well, but I think this is a great spot to get back to the winner's circle today. And there you just see him cruising through the stretch. And this was a good performance after an extended layoff. So that's the number 2 horse that day, but the number 5 today, Trophy Chaser. So I think he ran well. But I was in a quandary whether to put that one on top or the number 1, Zendon, who's now in the Todd Pletcher barn. And this is the son of Fed Biz, who was second in the 7-furlong Susan's Swale, Grade 3 in February. He's making his first start since stalking the pace and fading. That was in the Grade 3 Lexington during April. But I want to go back and revisit how this horse ran at this 6-furlong distance right here, right before, like this was last December, just before the start of the new year in the Buffalo Man. Really nice run from Zendon there, changing barns, now going to the Todd Pletcher barn. So Zendon and Trophy Chaser, 2 horses coming back off layoffs, and now, one got a race, one's going to have this race this afternoon. And I just thought that Zendon was pretty game that afternoon to win it for the previous connections, like I said, now in the Todd Pletcher barn. Now, the 2, Frosted Grace, has run. This one 5th behind Zendon. That was in that 7-furlong swale. But this one has really come to hand for Kathy Ritvo. Has Jairo Rendon going for 2 in a row. It was a really nice race last time out. Beating, I thought it was a sharp performance, that 6-furlong allowance victory. So this one looks like finally coming to hand for Kathy, who's, this horse has been knocking heads with some of the better horses here. And so we'll see how Frosted Grace runs this afternoon. Okay, race 7 now. Here's where my best bet was, and this is 7.5 furlongs. These are claimers, 3 and up, and they run for $12,500. And Could Be's the horse that I singled in my Rainbow 6, who's turning back slightly to 7.5 furlongs after making a bid and just getting edge for the place when finishing 3rd, but it turned out to be a really fruitful 16 claimer that's produced a couple of next out winners. Carlos David is the trainer, Jairo Rendon in the saddle, and I just thought off that performance that this horse is the one to beat in the race, and I had to get a single somewhere, so I went with the 3 Could Be. But got my old buddy in here, Bowtie Affair. This one is a late striding type. He's the number 7. He needs that perfect pace setup to run his bet. He's tried that a mile and the 16th, respectively, turning back to 7.5 furlongs. I actually like this horse going a little longer, but if they go fast up front, the number 7, Bowtie Affair, always seems to be there at the wire. Just needs that perfect setup to get it done. The 2, Hot and Heavy, is stepping up to the 12.5 level after making a perfectly timed 5-wide move last time out. Defeated those claimers at the distance, those $10,000 claimers at the distance. Oscar Gonzalez has Jeffrey Sanchez going for 2 in a row. So it was really perfectly timed race last time out for the number 2 horse. So Could Be, number 3, 7, Bowtie Affair, and 2, Hot and Heavy. Now, our final race on Sunday is race 8. It's a 6-furlong maiden claimer for state-bred fillies, 2-year-olds, $35,000. And we're going to go back. The horse I have on top is the number 5, Domineer. We're going to go back and pick this horse up at the top of the stretch last time out. This was back 3 starts. They put him on the turf, but I wanted to show you his debut on the dirt. They thought he ran well, and that's what they're doing. They tried him a couple of times on the turf, and I went back and looked at this horse, was back in August, and he ran really nicely on the dirt. So they wanted to try him on the turf for a couple of times, but putting him back on the main track this afternoon, and there you see him. He's running pretty good, and like I said, a couple of times on the turf, going back to the dirt. I just thought I'd show you how well he ran on the dirt. That was his lifetime debut. So Domineer, drops to this $35,000 level. As I mentioned on the dirt, after following that debut we just showed you with a pair of fifth-place finishes, both of those sprinting on the grass for trainer Dave Brady, Raylu Gutierrez will be in the saddle today. Then I went to the outside with the number 10, Hichizada. This one drops into the maiden claiming ranks, faced state-bred maiden special weight competition in both sprints across town. Antonio Sano, Edgar Zayas. Edgar Zayas, a nice day yesterday with 3 wins, and Antonius barn is really starting to heat up again. So this horse, if the post was a little better, would probably be on top of my ticket. Then I went with the 9, Sweet Bellin. Going to wear blinkers this afternoon, dropping to this level. Finished second, was beaten a half length against 50 state-bred maidens at the distance. Kathy Ritvo, Christian Torres in the saddle this afternoon. So Domineer going back to the dirt. Hetchi's out of great connections. And number 9, Sweet Bellin, looks like this one's going to run well in the nightcap. So that's how I see the Sunday card. We'll be throughout the day giving you all useful updates we can. We're going to turn it over now to Jason. He's going to give you all the scratches and changes you need, and I'll be back just before the first race. Good luck, everybody.